on the floor. Abdullah Sayed, can you please turn off your mic? Okay, students, let's start the session. Today we're going to study, very important diagram that is called process writing. Okay. Now, what is process writing, students? Look, the screen that I have shared, and now you can see the process in front of you, right? Let me make it a bit zoom. And first of all, I want to show you a complete process, right? Okay, this is the picture of the process, right? And you see now that how this process is, yeah. Now this will be much more clear. You see, first of all, let me tell you, what process writing is, students, okay? Look, like one thing you should pray, and I think you must pray that process writing or map writing, if you get the, these two diagrams, so you will be lucky. You will be very, very lucky because, process writing is the easiest one, and map writing is also very much easy. So, because there is no tension, there is no extra effort, right, in process and in map writing. Let's take this diagram first, and then we can discuss further, right? Look, students, this is called the process of T, right? Guys, can you see full process or like some area is cut? Can you see full?
No, sir. At last two steps.
Okay. Let me then.
No, sir. Some area cuts. No, sir.
Okay. So let me make it. How about now? Still, you're having half page or
now
something?
it's fine, sir. It's fine. But the last one is missing.
Okay, the last one is missing, right?
Almost.
Okay. I want full page. I want full page in front of you, right?
Sir, carry on. Only the product is not seen. Carry on, sir. All the process is seen.
Okay. All right. So you can see, you can see like almost 90% the diagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay, students, in process writing and map writing, remember, there is no hi-fi signs. Very easy. You know why? There's no x-axis, so tension-free. No x-axis, no y-axis, no, any extra, steps you will take. Process writing is actually a kind of, writing that they always discuss the process of something, the construction of something. For example, here now you can see types of teas, right? One is this tea, the first tea that I'm going to circle here, on the top. Look at here now, raw tea. This is actually, French word, and this is the first type of tea is called raw tea, right? Pira tea. And the second type, this is called rye tea, right? So two types of teas are there, and they would show you that how these two types of teas are, prepared. Right? So for these two types of teas, they will give you different stages, then they will discuss different things, and then later on, then you will have to one, and then you will have to, discuss this kind of diagram. Sometimes they will give you how to prepare honey, right? and they give you complete, structure of honey. That honey is, this is the first stage, and then is the second stage, and this is the third stage, and then step by step they give you complete structures, right? Sometimes they give you even, cement, right? How is cement prepared? Then they give you the construction of cement. Sometimes they give you marbles. Sometimes they give you concrete. Sometimes they give you even, black tea. Sometimes green tea. Sometimes they will give you the construction of white cement. Sometimes they'll give, the construction of, yes, even once I saw a diagram where Eiffel Tower was given, and they give you complete, skeleton of that, and then they give you the construction there, what happened first, and then what happened. No, that it was a very, heavy diagram. But remember that, there are two names: flowchart, process writing, right? So whatever the name you call in your report writing, that's fine, right? You can call it process writing, you can call it flowchart, right? When you start writing a report, you will tell the examiner the process writing shows, or the diagram, or the flowchart shows, or something like that. So you should tell the examiner clearly, you should name it. When you name it, then examiner understands. Don't call it bar graph, or don't call it chart, don't call it graph, or don't call it pie chart. Okay, it is process writing. It is very, another very common mistake. Students don't know the exact name, or sometimes they know the name, but they forget, And when they start writing, they call it graph. Mistakenly, they call it chart. So you should properly name it process or flow chart. Okay. Now, some very important points that I want to show you here, that whenever you start writing, process writing, fine, or flow chart, the first thing, introduction, very important, right? Introduction must be there. Second thing, there must be, overview, right? Like these two things you never drop. Don't even, think about dropping it. You must compose good introduction. You must compose very good overview, right? After this, then the next stage, that is the body paragraph. Here I am, yesterday we discussed body paragraph, right? And, again, I'm repeating my words. You will again, make groupings, right? Without groupings, it's very difficult, to compose a body paragraph. If you do not have proper grouping in your mind, so you're like, just fighting in the air, right? You don't have any target. You just, you're just writing, and you're just discussing that corner and that corner, and neither you and not the examiner, right, will understand anything. So better option that you should understand what I'm going to write. For that, collecting the data, right? And then, making two different paragraphs or one paragraph if there is no grouping possible. Now, important points for the body paragraph. Don't use only past tense. Don't use only present indefinite tense. Never use future indefinite. Never use future indefinite. You know why? Because this diagram will not be constructed in the future. This diagram is, always constructed. For example, when they want to prepare Raji, and when they want to prepare Raiti, so they always follow these, stages. So it's something natural. It doesn't mean that this thing happened in the past. This is over time diagram, and you will be using past tense. No. You will not use past tense, okay? Yeah, you can use past tense, but do not only stick to past tense. No, this is very much wrong. Don't use only one tense, past tense, okay? Here I'm giving you three options. Okay? The first option that you should use, the very first option that you should use present indefinite. Present indefinite, right? The second option that you should use past indefinite, the third option, that is present perfect tense, right? These three tenses, you should know, and these three tenses you should frequently use. Okay. Present indefinite, past indefinite, and present perfect tense. Now, this is your cleverness, okay? This is your style. This is now your, way of writing, that you should not use one tense continuously, right? As I told you yesterday, if a diagram is over time, you will have to use only one tense, past tense and past tense and past tense. Your full body paragraph will be in the past tense. But in flowchart and in the process writing, in the map writing, you are having these three options: present indefinite, past indefinite, and present perfect, okay? For one stage, present indefinite. For the second stage, change your tense. Jump to past indefinite. For the third stage, again change your tense. Go to present perfect tense. When you go to the next stage, stage number 4, again go to present indefinite, and keep on changing your tense. Keep on changing and rotating your tenses, right? You should not use one tense continuously. It will again, make a kind of a boring report writing. Again, I'm telling you, your report writing, yes.
Sir, why we use mix of tenses, sir, in process writing, sir?
Because this is something natural, Look at here now. This is something natural. For example, if you want to prepare roti, so what is the first stage? That is pan frying. Look at here now. This is the very first stage. When you want to prepare, roti, so from this stage you start, right? Pan frying. After pan frying, then you will have to go to the rolling. You see, it is your second stage. After rolling, then you will have to go to, drying under the sun. This is your third stage. After this, then you will have to go to, compression, right? And this is converting into, just roti. Right. So you see, students, actually, it is a kind of, natural procedure that every time, the same procedure goes on. And, on the basis of these stages, your tea is prepared. So, in one stage you can use, present tense. In the other tense you can use, in the other stage you can use present indefinite tense, past indefinite, then present perfect. Because these are, near past, right? Present indefinite, this is okay, natural, right? Something happens habitually. That's why we are using present indefinite tense. Why do we use past? Because this is something that, maybe the first stage happens, then the second stage followed that. That's why we are using second, that is past tense there. And what is present perfect? Present perfect is, very near future, near past. Something happened very near past, right? So again, the first stage past tense, present tense, second tense, past tense, third stage, present perfect. But this is actually for the variety. But if you want to use, one tense, then I will recommend present indefinite tense. For example, if you say that, no, sir, I don't want to use, 3 tenses, and I should use only one tense, then you should not use past tense. Then you must use present indefinite tense for all stages. Then you have the option. But, in this case, then there is no attraction in your report writing, because you're non-stop using, present indefinite, and there is no charm in your report writing. That's why I'm recommending. Anyway, so, students, this is what, one option, right? That you will have to use 3 different tenses, right? Okay. Second important point, that is that, okay, which tense to be used, right? Which tense to be used? So here I have given the answer, right? That you should use a present indefinite tense. 3 options I've given you. Okay. So which tense to be used? The first question, right? So I have given you the options: present indefinite, past indefinite, and present perfect tense. Another very important question. normally students ask me that can we drop any stitch in process or flow chart? Yeah. Students, I told you earlier that whenever you are having, for example, in line graph and, in bar graph, I told you last time, where something is non-stop increasing. So what I said, don't discuss every stage, discuss the first and the last. So can we do that thing here? Can we drop any stage? So here,
No.
the answer is no.
No, sir, never.
Yeah, no, never, never. Very, very, very dangerous, right? We must discuss each and every
stage.
Yeah, exactly. We must discuss each and every stage, because if you drop a single stage, so that stage is playing, very important role. If one stage is dropped, so how can you even, prepare the team? Because for the production of that team, you must have proper stages. So if you drop any stage, like in the graph, in the bar graph, so then just your production is not very good, and then your report is incomplete. So you didn't, convey proper stages, right, to the examiner. Okay. So this is, that no, never. We must discuss each and every stage, right? Okay. The next important point and next very important question, that is that don't use yeah, this is important point, Use passive voice of the above tenses. How many tenses? I told you three tenses: present indefinite, past indefinite, present perfect, right? So use passive voice of the above tenses. What is active voice and what is passive voice? Look, what is active and passive? Now, active and passive, actually, if I talk about active and passive, so active is, for example, Ali. Where is that diagram? Diagram is here, right? Yeah. What is the first stage? Who can tell me? What is the first stage? Pan frying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So look, the first stage is pan frying. Fine. So what you guys are going to do? If I say like this, look in here now, pan frying. Yeah. Ali. Ali pan fried. Delhi. You see? Do you see, students, in this stage, these are the leaves, right? Okay. And, these leaves are basically in a pot, right? And you see below this pot, there is fire, right? There's fire, right? And, just to inactivate the enzymes, so what they're going to do, they are basically, pan frying it, right? So now we don't know. We do not know that who is pan frying it, right? We do not know. Maybe the, employees of that factory. Maybe, anyone there who is working in that factory, right? He's doing all these things. So if I say like this, this is active voice, okay? Ali pan fried the leaves. This is actually, active voice of, past tense. Ali pan fried the leaves. It is past tense, right? Past tense. active. Past tense active voice. Right. Now, what is passive voice? Passive voice means that the leaves were pan-fried by Ali. This is called past tense passive voice. Now, you see, the second sentence is passive voice, right? What is the purpose of using active voice and passive voice? This is also a very important question, right? What is the purpose of active voice and passive voice? For example, if I come to the class and I see there is a chair and the chair is broken, I ask Amir Zaid, who broke the chair? Amir Zaid is telling me, sir, Ali broke the chair. Right? I ask Fahad, who broke the chair? Yes. Fahad is telling me, sir, the chair was broken. The chair was broken by Ali. Now you see, look at here, students, the first reply is of Amir Zaid. The second reply is of Ahmad, right? I got two replies. Amir Zaid replied me in active voice. And
yes, sir.
Now, what is the difference between these two sentences? Who can tell me? What is the message in active voice and what is the message in passive voice? Amir Zaid told me in active voice. Amir Zaid said, sir, Ali broke the chair. The same reply, but Hamad is telling me, sir, the chair was broken by Ali. So what is, the difference between active and passive voice in these two sentences? Are they having the same meaning or they having different meanings?
Sir, it is present and active voice. Present perfect tense, I think.
No, Ali broke the chair. This is active past tense. Past indefinite active voice, And the chair was broken by Ali. This is past tense passive voice. Tense is the same. Tense is the same. Past tense. But the first answer is in active. The second answer is in passive. What is the difference? Why did he take help of active?
Sir, I think that the first one is directly and the second one is indirectly.
Sir, subject and object are changed, sir.
Subject and object are changed. So as in, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? The subject and object were changed. And now I'm coming to the point, okay? Right? Now you said subject and object were changed. But what is the benefit?
Just to emphasize something, I think.
Excellent. Just to emphasize something. Very good, very good. Aslan, can you please tell me, where is the stress? In the active or in the passive?
Active.
I think in passive, the chair was broken by that. It is like if you they are focusing on chair.
Yes, very good. Students, let me tell you very interesting, history of active and passive. Stay with me, okay, right? Stay with me. This is very important lecture because this lecture will help you in flowchart and in map writing both. Okay, and we use only passive voice. We use only passive voice in map writing and in process writing. So you should understand that What is passive? And when passive came into the market, when passive came into English, this English market, right? There was all around active. What is the purpose of passive? What is the benefit of passive? Let me tell you, okay? Actually, we have active versus passive, right? Now, if I talk about active and passive, right? What is active? Active, we say active student, we say active participant. He is a very active guy. He is a very active teacher. He is a very active director. He is a very active participant. What is the meaning of active? Active means a person who performs, the actions very quickly, right? He is not. And then we say like this, he's very passive student. He is very passive teacher. The class was very passive. The class was very active. What does it mean? Active means that everyone was participating in the class. That's why the class was active. So there was action going on, right? And the action was being done by the subject, right? What is passive? He is a very passive student. What does it mean? It means that the student is very passive. He does not perform any action. He is sitting in the corner, right? He doesn't, work actively, right? He doesn't reply, very, very actively. He enjoys sitting in the corner there. So we say that he's a passive student. What does it mean by passive? He doesn't perform action, right? So active means that performs action, right? Performs action, right? Passive means that doesn't perform any action. Or we can say that the performer, right? The performer is clear. Now, if I say that it doesn't perform any action, for example, look at here now. Students, for the very first time, there was no passive in English grammar, right? For the first time, there was all the time active and active. For example, if I say like this, I teach English, right? I teach English. Now here, who is performing an action? I. So what is I? I is the subject, right? Teach is the verb and English is the object here, right? And this is called active sentence because here I is active, right? I teach English. So the performer of an action, that is I, and that is very much clear. But, for the first time, passive was needed in English grammar when there was no subject even. When there was no performer, then passive was needed. For example, if I say like this, Benazir Bhutto was assassinated, right? Now look at here. Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. She was assassinated. Man who assassinated her, we do not know. Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. Usse qatl kiya gaya. Now we do not know. Who killed her? Who assassinated her? We do not know. If I say like this, English is spoken in US. English is spoken in US. Man, we do not know who speaks English in US. Ali, Bulguli, Ahmed, who? It's not clear. Ali, no. English is spoken in US. By whom? By, billion of people. Right? English is spoken. If I say cotton is grown in Pakistan, right? Now look at here. Cotton is grown in Pakistan. We do not know who grows it. Farmers, Ali, Ahmed, 2%, 3%. Cotton is grown in Pakistan, right? If I say, for example, when you were at school, right? So you used to say, Noun is the name, for example, name of a person, thing, and place is called noun. Now, is called noun, right? Name of a person, place, and thing is called noun. Is called noun. Who calls it noun? Who calls it? We do not know. Is called. It's also passive voice. Subject is not clear. Performer is not clear. It's not active. It is passive. It is passive. Now be careful, students. We are having two kinds of passive, okay? We are having two kinds of passive, right? There are two types of passive. The first type is called full passive. The second is called emphatic passive. Emphatic passive, right? There are two types of passives, okay? The first is called full passive, and the second is called emphatic passive. Do you know, students, in your metric classes, when they give you sentences, in your metric papers, in your class 8, in your class 7, in your class 10, in your even, first year, second year, when they give you sentences and when they ask you change into passive, right? Or change the voices, all they are emphatic passive. They are all emphatic passive. For example, if I say like this, I teach English. I teach English. So the passive is English is taught by me. Right? It is called now emphatic passive. Emphatic passives are those passive, where the subject is not active, the object is active. For example, in the first sentence, I teach English, here subject is active, I is the subject, and English is the object. But if we see in passive voice, object became the subject. Object came into the beginning of the sentence. So object became active and subject became, passive. Right? So what we did, that we changed the mood of the subject and object, right? Object became the subject and subject became the object there now. In the first sentence, subject is active. That is why it is called active sentence. In the second sentence, the object became passive. That is why it is called passive voice. And, in Urdu, if I say like this, if I give you the example in Urdu, I teach English, मैं English पढ़ाता हूँ. And then I say in passive, English is taught by me. English मेरे ज़रिए पढ़ाई जाती है. So look, I'm stressing English. I'm not stressing I. In the first sentence, I is, stressed. I teach English, मैं English पढ़ाता हूँ. But in the second sentence, English is taught by me. English मेरे ज़रिए पढ़ाई जाती है. So English is now active and I am really, I am muted, right? While English is active here now. That is why the performer is mute, right? And the object is active. So this is called emphatic passive. What is, full passive? What is full passive? Full passives are those passives which are 100%, which are always, in passive voice, and they are never changed into active. For example, I give you these three examples. Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. Where is the performer of an action? Can you change the sentence into active? No. Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. This is in passive voice. But if you want to change the sentence into active, you can't change it. It is called full passive. English is spoken in US. This is full passive. We cannot change the sentence into active. This is full passive. It is not emphatic passive. Emphatic passives can be changed active to passive and passive to active. But remember, students, full passives are never changed into active. They remain in passive voice all the time. Cotton is grown in Pakistan. Now, cotton is grown in Pakistan. If you change the sentence into active, we cannot change it. This is full passive. Name of person, place, and thing is called a noun. If you want to change this, the sentence into active, we cannot change. It is in full passive. So students, remember, in your map writing and in your process writing, you will use full passive. Because we do not know. Now, coming to the point here, what is the first stage? Pan frying, right? The first stage is pan frying. The second stage is rolling. The third stage is under, the sun. They are dried. Then they are compressed. Then they are fermented. Then they are, aged by storage. You see, we do not know who is doing all these actions. Who is pan frying it? Who is rolling it? Who is drying under the sun? Who is compressing it? Who is fermenting it? Who is aging them by storage? We do not know. It's a natural process that each time this is done. So for this reason, you need to use passive voice and full passive. You will say like this: the leaves are pan fried, right? Then you will say rolled. The leaves have been rolled. Look, I've used passive voice as if it present perfect tense, right? What I said you will have to use these three tenses. And let me tell you, students, that for the present indefinite tense, you will have to use is plus verb third form. In passive voice, we always use verb third form. We never use verb second, we never use verb first, we never use verb, fourth form. Is plus verb third, am plus verb third, and then are plus verb third. This is very, very important, okay? These are the auxiliaries of present indefinite tense, right? Okay, let's talk about past, past indefinite. In past indefinite, we have was plus verb third. And then we're having were plus verb third, right? Were plus verb third. And then for the present perfect tense, we're having, again two auxiliaries, right? Have plus verb third. And then we're having the second auxiliary of present perfect, that is have plus verb third. So students, you should know. For example, if I say like this, look at here. If I say like this, let me give you the example of are. The leaves are fermented, right? The leaves are fermented. This is now present indefinite tense, passive voice. We do not know the leaves are fermented, right? If I want to use past indefinite, then you will have to say the leaves were fermented, right? Okay, but if I say, present perfect tense, then you will have to say the leaves have been fermented. Clear now? So this is what, that you need to understand, the structures and the auxiliaries, right? That in present perfect we use have or has. Have for plural and has for singular. And then verb third form. And if you want to use past indefinite, then you will have to use were for plural and was for singular. And then, for the present indefinite tense, we don't use am because am is for the first person, we do not know. Okay, drop it, right? Is and are. You should use is and are plus verb third form. The leaves are fermented. And then the sheet is... if I say like this, if there is anyone, if I say the sheet is rolled, right? And then the leaves are dried under the sun. So you see, I'm using, present indefinite and I'm using, passive voice. Without these tenses, you cannot compose a good report and you will have to use passive voice. I gave you a detailed lecture on passive voice. Why? Because tomorrow's lecture is again connected. Tomorrow we'll be discussing, map writing. And in map writing, the same tense will be used. The same three tenses and the same passive voices will be used. So we need to use passive voice and we need to use, these three tenses here. Right? Now let's go ahead and let's see how I prepared, this report writing. I want to show you students. Yes, I give you only and only 5 minutes. Please read this report, right? And then
I have a question, sir.
yes, please ask question.
Sir, in yesterday lecture, there was a discussion about the land graph and other graph, by table or chart graph. So we were actually discussing all the things, but sir, you haven't given us your presentation on that, your writing on that topic. Like as you have presented over here, you have written your written topic over here. So can we get the same writing of the report for yesterday's topic?
Yesterday we discussed about that. Are you asking for the report of that diagram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Same by report.
Okay, right. Same like this.
Same like this.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's discuss it and then I'm gonna share with you, okay? First of all, guys, okay, this is the diagram, right? This is the diagram, fine. And then, for this diagram, I have composed a report writing. Full report writing is given 181 words. Let me count the words again. How many words are there? Wait, please hold on. 100 and yes, there are 181 words, right? Okay, can you please read this diagram, right? And then after 5 minutes, then we'll discuss in detail. Please read it now very carefully. This is complete report, introduction, overview, body, and just read it very carefully, okay? How I discuss these things.
The diagram presents the manifestation from your progressive stage. Although the first three stages are the same for all stages, making decisions.
Mustafa, can you please mute your